Hello, I am back today with a new to me company. I'm probably going to murder the pronunciation of the name, but I think it's Ejiubas, and that's what I'm going to stick with, Ejiubas. If I am saying this wrong, please let me know because I would love to say it right. Here's how they come. They come in this gorgeous little envelope, which is really cool, I think, for storing, because that way you don't have to worry about your plates getting scratched up, depending on how you store. And actually, storage is one of the reasons why I was attracted to this plate. And then, of course, it has the blue film to protect it. And I will remove that, but I wanted you to see that it does come with that. This plate is double-sided. So here is one of the sides, and flip, here's the other side. So you're maximizing the space that's used here, and this is taking up the space of just a single plate in your storage system, and it takes up half the weight, because if you're a stamping fan, you know that the weight of these adds up when you have a bunch of these. Of course, that's only cool if the images are cool, and I think these images are pretty darn cool. I'm gonna refer to this as side one. So on side one, you've got your full nail images, and on side two, you have this beautiful matching collage style image that gives you all of this flexibility. So you really get the best of both worlds. You get the design flexibility of the collage style image here, and then you get your matching images. And that means you have so much stuff that you can do in terms of mixing and matching your different manis. Okay, so the theme of this is Celtic. And you can see here we've got all of these beautiful Celtic designs, so lovely Celtic knot. You can see here that this is almost like a combination between a Celtic design and a mandala, which I think is really, really cool. This is almost a star effect. And while some of these are traditional full nail images, so you can cover your nail completely, some of them, she gives you plenty that have free edges, so you can play around with that in your design. So for example, you might want to do that and get that coming up from your cuticle. And so you've got this beautiful built-in curvy design there. Or, maybe you want to even play around with like just on the side of your nail, like having half of your nail like that. And when designers give you that free-flowing edge, it gives you more of that cool design possibility than when, all four of the sides are just straight like that. And while we're talking about that, and while I've got my little thing out here, these designs here are great. You can do a beautiful French nail with a clear stamper. And actually, I love how that intersects with the cuticle, so that would be a perfect fit for me to do both a kind of a French design and a little bit of a thing in my cuticle at the same time. Pretty cool. Same thing like with this, you could do gorgeous French design. You can have these just come up the center of your nail. You could have it be on one side of your nail. So play around with your little template. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, that's kind of cool. And I love... that's awesome for like a French tip. Oh my gosh. So play around, and even within your full nail images, like you can get this where you've got a sort of a basket weave feel here on the bottom, or you could have that running through more of the center of your nail depending on where you position. So yeah, a couple of these here also have almost an Art Nouveau feel to me. This is gorgeous. This is like some sort of kind of Celtic inspired medallion or crest that you'd have on a beautiful door or a beautiful shield. And then this is another one that has this Art Nouveau feel, and I love and this one over here, like look at how cool this matches up with this. So this is almost like, not exactly, but almost like an inset of this, the same sort of intricate weave pattern. So play around with those together, and you could do something like have that on an accent nail and have all of your other nails just have a French tip from this, or even a French tip. How cool would that be for like a matching French tip on your other nails? Oh my gosh, so cool. Then another more standard kind of Celtic knot. And then we've got this gorgeous star one here in the middle. That's just awesome. And this is another one that looks really Art Nouveau to me, in addition to having that Celtic inspired design. And again, you could have this coming out of the center of your nail or reposition it one way or another. And we've already talked about how much I love that. Another more traditional, but look at this one with the owl eye coming out of the design. How amazing is that? I love it. And then this here also has kind of a weave pattern that could go with some of the other weave patterns. And this has this beautiful curvy Art Nouveau feel to it that both has an optical illusion. But you could pair it, like have, like what if you had this on one of your nails and then this coming off your other nails? Very, very cool. This has more of that kind of crest feel to me, and this has almost it's like a Celtic mosaic feel to it. Very, very cool. And then you've got the head of your horse here, which is going to match your beautiful horse on the other side. So this is a smaller version. You know, the face will definitely fit onto your nail just by itself. If you want all of the design, if you shrink it down with the shrinking technique, you're probably going to be able to fit, I would guess, probably most of it. Most of it will be able to fit. Probably not all of it, but still enough that will make you happy. Another beautiful French tip. All right, let's look at the collage. This has this almost tribal feel to me, and I love, like, it's like rays of the sun coming off of a skull. This has the skull feel to me, like of an animal skull. And then with the fishes too, and then over here, these things sort of look like, I don't know, ancient cave drawings or runic kind of symbols, like of the zodiac. And this has another feel of like an animal head to me. This that has that tribic, ancient kind of Celtic feel to it. I love these stars, and I love that you get this run of stars. So you could do a couple of these as a French tip. You could have them running down the length of your nail. That would be very cool. I love her face. I mean, she looks very like warrior, but in a strong, beautiful way, and she will definitely fit on your nail. This beautiful design with the interwoven fish on her shield, and you know, don't forget that you can do cool things, you know, with the curve of your nail. Play around with that on there, or you can just come in and get, you know, this full design in there. We've got this beautiful horse again, so if you wanted to play around with, like, have this pattern on one nail and then on the other side have most of the horse's head with just enough that you can tell it matches, that would be very, very cool. The word Celtic, if you want to highlight that. A few little medallions here that you could isolate out if you wanted to. And then look at this really cool negative image on her leg. So you could possibly come in here and pull that out for a French tip. It's not perfect, but you know, you can have an angled French tip if you want to. There's no reason not to. And then this has almost a maze feel. You've got this little chain here going along the horse that you could pull out and go across your nails. And then this sort of check-like pattern there. That's pretty cool. Then we've got all of the these weapons. So this compass and these different weapons, you could isolate those or just kind of throw them together for a pattern if you wanted to on your nails. And then you've got this interweaving here of this pattern, which you could play around with and mix and match with the patterns on the other side that are a little bit smaller. So you can play a little bit with scale and play a little bit with dimension. So there's a ton of possibilities here on its own. But then when you combine it with the cool images on this side, you've got, you know, double, triple your design potential. And all right, let's talk about size. So width is just a little bit over 5/8 of an inch, and length is just a little bit over 6/8 of an inch. You can see that's going to fit my thumb no problem. So if you have nails that are a little bit longer than mine, you may struggle with these images, but you're going to have pretty long nails to have to worry about struggling with these images, or pretty wide nails. All right, to give you a feel for the collage side, and I will have a still of this on my blog, here's what we're talking about in terms of size. For my stamping test, I am going to use Sally Hansen Insta-Dry Navy Fleet and my XL sticky stamper. Great pickup. Excellent transfer. Excellent pickup. Excellent transfer. Excellent pickup. And excellent transfer. Look at all that detail. All right, let's try the other side. Okay, the pickup on that was a little bit goopy, but that might be my fault, so let's try it again. Okay, that's better. I got a little bit of a weak area there because I scraped this way, so you might want to scrape at a diagonal. Otherwise, pretty good scrape on that. I would definitely say use a firm scrape with that part of the plate. So one of the reasons why I wanted to test this part was because this is a big area of the plate. So I wanted to see how the different parts of this looked on the finger, and as you can see, this is a very bold kind of print, so it's going to look more abstract. You're not necessarily capturing the full kind of eagle or the animal face kind of aspect of this image, so keep that in mind. Good pickup on that face. Beautiful transfer. Great pickup of the details. Excellent transfer. Okay, so I think this is a top quality plate. Both sides stamp well. Anytime you have big solid areas in a plate, you do have to be careful how you scrape it so that you can get a controlled enough scrape but not get bald areas. So I would say rather than going straight with the main lines, I would go diagonal to the lines when you're using that part of the plate. That's with any plate that has those kinds of areas. So I think the detail on this is really great. It picks up well, it transfers well. And so I would definitely recommend checking this out. Okay, we'll link everything down below, and thanks for watching.